So today is topic 2-2, okay? I skipped 2-1 because we kind of incorporate it into the other lessons, and because we're short on time, we're going to just go on to 2-2. So topic 2-2, and then write the date that you added them into your notes, please. Okay, so we always are starting with that essential question, the thing that we need to keep in our brain that we're trying to make sure we can answer by the end of the lesson, okay? Remember, I'm not writing essential question anymore. I am writing EQ just for the interest of space, okay? So EQ. Our essential question is, how can I round whole numbers and decimals? You guys have been rounding for a lot of years, okay? This is not a new concept, but the new part is rounding with decimals, okay? So, how can I round whole numbers? And remember, that's my cursive and. It's a plus with a little loop, okay? That means and. How can I round whole numbers and decimals? You also have to keep in mind that a decimal is not a whole number. It's part of a whole number. So if you see 0.50, that's 0.5 is half. So it's half of a whole number. Okay, so if you see 2.5, that's 2, but not quite 3, because it's halfway in between 2 and 3. Okay, so you have to remember when we are talking about decimals, that means part, just like a fraction is a part, a decimal is a part. Okay, so we need to keep in mind some keywords. Please remember also you're writing it down just like I have it, so it makes sense, and when I refer back to it, you can find what I'm referring to quite quickly, okay? So we're looking at rounding, okay? We're rounding wholes and we're rounding decimals, okay? Not whole like hole in the ground. That would be H-O-L-E, not W-H-O-L-E, okay? So those are the key words that we're going to be keeping in mind. Now, here's some words when you read a word problem that will indicate, will tell you that you are going to be rounding, okay? So it might say, round, please round this number, okay? That one should jump out and slap you in the face when you see it, because it says to round, so you know to round, right? But you might see this word too, and this means to round, if you're going to estimate. Okay, this is another word that you may see. About. Okay, about means that you are going to estimate. Another word would be approximately. That's another one that tells you you're going to round. Okay, now there's different ways to round. You can use compatible numbers, or you can, what is the one that I heard that 4th grade teaches? If it's 4 or less, let it rest. If it's 5 or more, let it soar, meaning add one more to it, right? Okay, haven't taught 4th grade, so I'm not really sure, but I know there's some sort of rhymey things like that. Okay, so let's think about this. Remember, you're writing this down, okay? So pause if you need to catch up to me, but if you're good to go, keep that button playing, okay? Which addition is easier? Okay, I'm going to give you a couple problems, and you tell me which one is easier to do. Either 19 plus 27 or 20 plus 30. Which one is easier to do? Well, in my brain, the one that's easier to do is this one. Because 2 plus 3, super easy, right? 2 plus 3 is 5. and then you just throw the 0 on, right? But this one, you're like, oh my gosh, I have to line them up. 7 plus 9. Well, 7 plus 9 is 16. Then I have to regroup that 1. So 2 and 1 is 3, plus 1 more is 4, so it's 46. Okay? Took a lot more time, even just talking through it, than this one. 2 plus 3, 5, and put the zeros on. This is the rounded version of this. Okay? So taking a look, with the 19, I looked at the 1. I'm going to be rounding. I always, if it doesn't say, you need to choose to round to the nearest biggest number. So in 19, the tens column is the biggest number. So that's what we're going to round to. So we look to the right, and there's your 4th grade little poem saying thing, 5 or more, let it soar. So you're going to add 1 more to this one right here. So it becomes a 2, and the 9 needs a placeholder still, which is a 0. So 19 rounds to 20. Okay. So then we take the 27, and we do the same thing. We look at the largest number. Okay, that's in the tens position. So we're going to look at the 20s. We look 1 space to the right, and then again, it's 5 or more, let it soar. That means you add 1 more to the one that you want to round to. So that 2 bumps up 1 amount, so it becomes 3. And then we need that placeholder there. So the 27 rounds to the 30. So if you were to ask me, what's 19 plus 27? I would say, well, 19 is about 20, 27 is about 30, and 20 plus 30 is 50. So the answer to this should be pretty close to 50. Do you remember what I said the answer was to this when I did it mentally? Well, 7 plus 9 is 16. We regroup that 1. 2 plus 1 plus 1 more is 4. Is 46 pretty close to 50? Yeah. So this would be a good estimate for this problem. Okay? So, let us write a little more. Rounding. Now, once again, ladies and gentlemen, pause if you need to catch up. It's not a big deal. Okay? Rounding replaces one number with another number that tells, now I'm going to capitalize the whole thing, about how many or how much. Okay, so I should probably capitalize that. It's not really a complete sentence, but I like it to be capitalized. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to skip 4 lines. Okay? We're going to go back and use those 4 lines at the end of this. Okay? So, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. That's what I'm skipping for now. Okay? So, I'm going to move this up. We'll go back to those 4 lines. But we're going to do a little mini flow map here. Just 3 boxes that walk us through the steps of doing that. Okay? Now remember, I don't box the flow map box until I've finished writing to make sure it fits. Okay? So, number 1, find the digit in the rounding place. Okay, that's your first thing. You're going to underline that digit. Just like I did up here. Oops, can't see. Uh-oh, I froze. My hand's not moving, but my hand is moving, see? Oh no. Okay, I may have to make part 2 of this video. What happened?